Lesson 5, what you see is what you get. Anthony Robbins, notes from a friend. Lesson 5, what you see is what you get. So many people want to change how they feel, but they don't know how. The fastest way to change the feel with anything is to change what you're focusing on. If you want to feel lousy right now, it would be pretty easy. All you have to do is think about some of the painful that happened in your life and focus all of your attention on it. If you've thought about it long enough, you'd have feel lousy again. How ridiculous. Won't you sit through the lousy movie over and over again? Of course not. So why go to the lousy movie in your mind? The experiment just showed that easy with anybody slipping into the lousy feelings, or how crucial it is to control your focus, even things with help to get to focus on what you can do with what you can control. If you wanted to feel good right now, you could just do just that. You could focus on something that made you happy, something that made you feel good with yourself, with your family, with the friends. You may focus on something that's grateful for today, or you could focus intensely on the future that you're dreaming of, that you get excited about, with the added answer that will give you the energy to start making things happen. Let me give you a simple example. Let's say you go to the party, you have the video camera all night, you focus the camera lens on the left corner of the room where a couple is arguing. As a focus on it, and you two that might get caught up in the anger and unhappiness. Since you're focusing on the rage, you're probably thinking, what is this miserable couple with a miserable party? What is the same thing tonight at the party? You focus your attention on the right corner. There are a bunch of people laughing, joking, and instead of the fighting, they have the blast. And some of the people somebody asks you, what was the party like? And you say, oh, it was a wonderful party, with the point is simple, but there's unlimited things people can notice, but too many of us focus on things we can control. We can't control. Steers your focus in the right direction. Can you see where the focus for the important, but the controls how you see with the world, with what you do about it? Do you think that this might also control how you feel when you bet it does? The focus can literally save your life. One of the things that I enjoy most is racing cars. I never forget the most important lesson I learned in racing or driving school. But the teacher said the most important thing to remember is how to come out of the skid. That's of the getting metaphor of life. Isn't sometimes we get into the skid where the feeling like we're out of control. But the key to do is very simple to be instructive. For most people to do when they start with going to skid, focus on what they fear, the wall, instead of they most focus on where we want to go. And I'm sure if you heard about the people who are driving down with some back road with a sports car, all of a sudden they lose control for miles around. There's only one telephone pole. Somehow they manage to hit it. This is the reason, as soon as possible, to lose control of the zero, exactly what they wanted to avoid, and they connect with it. The reality is, whatever you focus on, you move toward. My instructor told me, we're going to get into the skid car with a guy. I've got a computer here. When I push for this button, the wheel will lift off the ground and cause you to skid out of control. When we skid, don't look at the wall, focus on where you want to go. No problem. I said, I understand. First time on the road, I was screaming along with my instructor to push the button, and all of a sudden I started to skid out of control. What do you think? My eyes went, you bet, right into the wall, and final seconds I was terrified because I was going to get hit, because my instructor grabbed my head and twisted it to the left, forcing me to look in the direction I needed to go. With the keep skating, I knew that we were going to crash, and forced to look only with the direction he pointed me in. Sure enough, I focused in that direction. I couldn't help but turn the wheel accordingly, and I caught in the last moment, and we pulled out, and you can imagine my relief. One thing that is useful to know about all of this is when you change your focus, often you don't not immediately change direction. It's true in life as well. Often the lag of the time between when you redirect your focus, when you're experiencing catch-ups, that's all the more reason to start focusing on whether you quickly or not waiting any longer to solve the problem. During the back to our story, did I learn my lesson? Not quite. The next time I headed for the wall, the instructor had to remind me loudly to look at my goal. And the third time though I turned my head to myself and trusted that in the work would work, and it did. And now when I go into skid, wham, my head goes where I want it to go with the wheels, and focus on where you want to go, and my car follows. Does it guarantee I always succeed by controlling my focus? Does it increase my chance? If you bet. How does this relate to you? But you and I must make sure for the problems we come to focus on solution, to focus where you want to go instead of what you frightens of. Whatever think about with the most you will experience. Most you'll experience changing focus, making a decision, changing belief. This is also stuff happen overnight. Of course, not again with the building up their muscles. Your muscles do not just bulge. But suddenly, like Popeye, it all happens by bit. But the guarantee you change the focus, even in little, your reality goes in a chance of a lot. Now let's learn one of the most powerful tools for changing the focus, something I've used every day of my life since I decided to make my dreams a reality. And since I decided to make my dreams a reality. Lesson 6, questions are the answers.